An all-new Eye on the Bay in HD starts right now.
Welcome to a winter wonderland on Eye on the Bay. I'm Brian Hackney, and when you think of winter getaways, a number of valleys come to mind. Yosemite Valley, Squaw Valley, heavenly. But do you ever think of this valley? Of Bear Valley. That's where we're headed as Eye on the Bay heads for the hills. Getting up here, of course, is a trip in itself. You'll basically head out Highway 4, passing vineyards, hitting tiny towns like Angels Camp, home of the celebrated Jumping Frog. Next, the tiny town of Murphys, right here on Highway 4. This historic town in the heart of gold country is now in the middle of Sierra wine country. It has just 3 stoplights, but 21 tasting rooms. Drink responsibly, of course, because then it's back onto Highway 4. Head through the small town of Arnold. Keep going up the highway where the foliage gives way to snow piled up along the roadside. And if you keep going up Highway 4, well, you can't keep going up Highway 4 because this time of year, that's where it ends. And so you've arrived at Bear Valley. Away from Tahoe traffic and the swanky ski set, this affordable family resort is the Bay Area's best-kept winter secret. Come along as we ski and snowboard in scenic Sierra backcountry, where you can rent a rustic cabin or snowshoe to a hidden lodge for a gourmet meal. And at the heart of it all is a quaint little village. What is Bear Valley like?
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah, this is God's country here. We're laid back here. We're not in Aspen. We're not a big Tahoe. We're Bear Valley.
Dave Johnston runs the Bear Valley General Store.
We have a little bit of everything.
Which is on Main Street, if you can call it a street. This looks like we're just walking down a hallway, which we are, but we're actually walking down Main Street,
yes,
right?
We are. This is the hub of the whole village.
A hallway connects the main lodge to the rest of town to Dave's General Store, the post office. And there's a practical reason why a hallway links the lodge to the town shops and restaurants. Snow. I mean, there's so much snow that it's practically covered this part of the building. Main Street/hallway tunnels beneath the 60 feet of the white stuff that Bear Valley gets on average every winter. And snow is the reason a typical parking lot at Bear Valley looks like this. Boy, and speaking of a slow pace, when you're in Bear Valley in the winter, this is how people get around. It's how people get to and from the grocery store, or the library, or to school. It is a small community, so small that this is the school. Bear Valley School, 1 room, 22 students, ranging in age from kindergarten all the way through high school. Now, how do these students get to school? Well, of course, some of them ski, and as for the rest of them, have a nice trip home! And that's how kids out here get home, in the Snowcat. And that Snowcat is headed down a road that nobody even bothered to name. The town is that small. But if it is that small, let's say you're here and you sprain an ankle, or get a headache, or just don't feel well. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy, to the rescue. Kathy Snyder is the village's registered nurse, and Nurse Kathy makes house calls on her snowmobile, of course.
So how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling a little bit better.
Well, like I say, we're laid back. We don't get too excited.
Yeah.
If it snows too much, we stay inside.
But people venture outside eventually, lots of people. It's why Bear Valley's population swells in the wintertime to ski, board, and snowshoe on all that snow. That's where correspondent Dave Stelk picks up the story.
So yeah, it's not Tahoe. Some say it's even better. There's no Tahoe traffic. Well, because you're not going to Tahoe. You just shoot straight up Highway 4, and once you get to the slopes, there's no traffic either. No lift lines. So just like that, you're on the slopes.
Bear Mountain is like no other ski resort. It's what some call an upside-down mountain. The easiest runs are on top of the hill. The Black Diamonds, or expert runs, are down below in steep terrain called Grizzly Canyon. Skiers access the resort at a mid-mountain lodge, which is at 7,800 feet. Now, by comparison, most Tahoe lodges are at 6,200 feet.
So, because the lodge is so high at 7,800 feet, it stays cold up here, which means that makes for some pretty decent snow conditions.
Covering nearly 1,300 acres and 1,900 vertical feet.
Hee-haw! Let's say you don't want to ski these nicely groomed slopes. In fact, you want to get off the slopes. You want to get way off the slopes. But to do this kind of skiing, you don't need one of those lift tickets. You just need one of these, a Snowcat.
An outfit called Bear Tracker Snowcat Adventure will drag you deep down into Grizzly Canyon.
You need one of these to go where we're going, which is something like skiing nirvana. And they call this the backcountry.
The idea is to go where no skier has gone before, or at least since it last snowed. The idea is to find
pure, unadulterated virgin snow.
AKA powder. And on this day, there were 7 feet of the stuff. It's what some boarders and skiers live for.
It's like you're skiing on clouds. You're just there in heaven. It's great.
But deep, soft snow also has its advantages. You get to do stuff like this. Then again, deep powder has its disadvantages.
Meanwhile, back at the lodge.
All right, now we're going to go from the frigid wilderness and Dave Stelk into the coziness of the lodge here at Bear Valley and chat with the general manager, Mark Phillips. Mark, the first thing is, Bear Valley used to be a Club Med?
Bear Valley was a Club Med in the 60s. It was the only one in North America for a period of time, and they gave it a shot, and unfortunately the year that they were here, 70 feet of snow.
Oh my gosh.
They said, no mas.
It's hard to believe this folksy resort was conceived as an exclusive playground for the Bay Area's ultra-rich, although Hollywood celebs have been known to stop by or even make their home here. Bear Valley became a family-friendly resort village. The Lodge, with its rustic but stately cathedral lobby, was built in 1967.
Post and beam construction, 53 rooms. There aren't many places like this lodge anywhere in the United States that I've been. I've skied a lot of different ski resorts, and this is a very unique place.
The lodge has 2 restaurants and, as we mentioned, connects via a hallway to other shops and restaurants. So, thank goodness, the French, the Club Med set, left this quaint alpine resort for the rest of us to enjoy.
It's a great place to connect with the family. Not a lot of distractions. Very traditional.
Coming up. This the cabin?
This is it right here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay, should we go in?
Yeah. How you can rent your very own mountain hideaway.
Is there room for one more? Welcome back to Eye on the Bay, and welcome to Bear Valley.
So, let's say that you're going to spend your weekend in Bear Valley, and you've rented one of the condos that are available up here. How do you get to the condo? Well, you don't do it by calling a cab.
We're ready to go. Let's go.
All right, let's hit it.
Woohoo!
Joel Barnett is my taxi driver. He's also the owner of Bear Valley Vacation Rentals. Bear Valley has over 300 cabins and cottages, many of them available for rent.
How much can you rent a modestly priced cabin for?
We have them starting at $299 a winter weekend night, and they go up to $485. That sleeps about 15 people in the big cabin.
And that price includes gorgeous views and other amenities.
Is there room for one more?
To find out how to book your own Bear Valley winter hideaway, log on to our website,
CBS5.com/Eye on the Bay.
Well, the sun's gone down, it's getting a little chilly, and after a long day of skiing, I got a tip on a nice warm place to eat. It's called Lake Alpine Lodge, and I was told just to go to the end of this road, but the only thing between me and Lake Alpine Lodge is about 7 feet of fresh snow, but there's a way I can get there. Oh, and by the way, Brian says he's showing up a little later. So how am I going to get to Lake Alpine Lodge?
Well, that's easy. It's the snowshoes, of course.
I'm hoofing it. The owners of Bear Valley Cross Country, Paul Peterson and his wife Diane, escorted me on a half-mile hike up Highway 4. This is Highway 4?
This is Highway 4. It goes snowbound every fall and stays full of snow till May.
Skiing or snowshoeing is the way people get around here, even at night.
Well, you'd be surprised at how much light you get just out of the starlight reflecting on the snow.
20 minutes later, we arrived at the cozy Lake Alpine Lodge.
Got a great meal coming up, stone fireplace and a log lodge. Doesn't get any better than this.
So we're here, but the only question is, where's Brian Hackney?
Well, while Dave's hoofing it, I'm going to do it the easy way. I'm going to take that, a snowcat. Steve Valente, owner of the Lake Alpine Resort, regularly ferries guests to and from his snowbound retreat.
How many miles to the gallon does it get? Bad.
Bad? By snowcat, it's just a short 5-minute ride to the lodge, which is convenient during a blizzard. And we're here. Man, it is cold out there. It is warm in here. Look at this, is gorgeous. I mean, look at this place. One moment you're out in the wilderness, it's below freezing, and then you walk into this beautiful lodge. It's got a bar. The original lodge was built in 1929 and rests next to scenic Lake Alpine, which is frozen over and snow-covered in the winter. But it's also a summer lodge, as evidenced by the general store stocked with fishing lures. The store is closed in the winter, as evidenced by the snow piled up against the back door. But the front door is always open. And man, what a gorgeous looking little restaurant. Don't forget to try this sinful appetizer, bacon-wrapped shrimp. And visitors are treated to a gourmet menu selection. Who's the poor miserable guy by the fire? What's Dave Stelk? David, how are you? Good to see you. You look a little rough, my friend. What have you been doing?
I?
Yes.
You look rather warm and toasty.
Well, I snowcatted in here.
Snowcatted?
Yeah.
You know, at one point I was officially snowbound. That's what my guide told me.
On the way here?
Yes.
Well, how did you get here?
Snowshoes.
No. That's what I like about you, David. Reporter involvement. You're out there fighting the elements and I'm in that snowcat.
You like me?
No.
Cheers! 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 All right. Perfect interview, perfect day.
Welcome back to Eye on the Bay. You're looking at the lodge at Bear Valley here in the Central Sierra. I'm Brian Hackney. We're kind of doing a little bit of a winter escape on tonight's show to a place that you may not have visited yet. We've already done a little bit of skiing at Bear Valley. We've done some snowmobiling, all at a resort that has a pretty rich history, having been around for decades here in California, but it's also got a pretty interesting future. We're going to talk about that with CEO Martine Begenstein. Martine, thanks for coming out. And tell us, you've got a lot on the drawing boards for Bear Valley, right?
Imagine yourself a small Swiss village as a mountain adventure getaway, for mountain sport. So it will have all the ingredients of a general